All right, what's up, YouTube? It's me, the artisanmc, back home, back in the den of debauchery. Here to speak to you good people today. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. What's good, studio? Yeah, I was on your coast, 2 p.m. right on time. Thank you. I tried. I didn't realize that when I set up the StreamYard to start today, last week, it set it up on East Coast time. So this morning there was an alert that went out at 8 a.m. for the show. And I got it on my phone. I had just kind of woken up. I was like, what the hell? And wasn't thinking about it until I sat down at the computer and saw that, yeah, the scheduled time was 8 a.m. I'm like, oh, 8 a.m. because I set it up on the East Coast. So what I thought was 11 is showing me 8 a.m. on this side. Weird. So thank you. I'm glad I was on time. I was 2 minutes early, actually. But, you know, that's what happens when you get old. You can kind of come early. Yeah. That's what you get to look forward to when you're early, when you're old. So good to see you guys again. I'm here. I got some stuff to talk about. Shout out to my boy Malika Me Bang. Was good to the Cinephilic. Said a little something for the collection plate. Appreciate you, Malika. Early bird in the building, telling me happy belated birthday. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate that. I am still a little bit sick from my birthday. Been sick since Tuesday. I started feeling it Monday, but Tuesday was fucking terrible. Oh my God. I was moving like a geriatric, for real. I was moving like a geriatric. It took me hours to do stuff that should have taken me maybe 30 minutes or so. And every step was labored. Everything was an issue. It had me on my knees, head resting on doors, fussing and cussing to try to get through that work day. So I had to take off the next day. I really did. And I just laid in bed and took medication. Just drug myself up and understood what was going on with my body. So I knew what to give myself and how to get through a 5-hour flight from DC to Sacramento, because there was no way in hell I was going to be able to get through that without being medicated. No way. I don't want to be that dude on the plane coughing and barking and shit like that. No. I don't even like that on the plane. So I wasn't going to be that guy. So I took a day, figured it out. And sure enough, when it came time to leave on Friday, I was medicated at intervals to keep my cough and stuff like that down. No snotty nose, no barking. And by the time I got back to Cali and Sacramento, I was good enough to take my next dose and go to bed. So I was running the line on how much medication I could take in a day, because I hadn't slept that night before. So I had been up since 2 a.m. East Coast time when I first took medication, all the way until 10 p.m. West Coast time. And I was right at the limit of how much of that shit I'm supposed to take in a 24-hour period, for real. Yeah, Malika, I'm glad I'm feeling better too, man. That was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. It hit me quick. I don't know what the hell that was, but apparently the FD, the regional or something like that, it came through there. He was kind of sick. He was there for one day and left. And I think it dropped off on him, because I took off for a day. And when I came back, a lot of people in the office was sniffling and shit. And I'm like, yeah, get the fuck out. Don't breathe on me, which is weird. Monday was the only day I worked near people. I didn't work near other techs the whole time I was there. Monday was the only day I worked near people, and I got fucking sick that day. That day, I felt it in my throat, like, what the, something ain't right. And that was the day I was playing Superman, running around helping everybody. That was it. So thankfully, for most of what I do, I don't have to work around other people necessarily. So it works for me because I like to focus and I don't have to deal with other people's germs and shit. Just walking in the houses. So that's where I am today. So feeling a little better. If you hear it in my throat, it sounds a little scratchy. That's what it is. It's still a little bit of head cold. I might cough in a bit, but I'm feeling better, feeling stronger. That's for damn sure. And I can say this about being sick, and I'll move on. You never really know how heavy your body is. If you're a strong person, you never really know how heavy your body is until you actually get sick and you see how much actual effort it takes to move that big motherfucker around. I'm serious. My legs are heavy as shit. My arms, my body is heavy as hell, and I'm not a fat dude. I'm not. I'm 5'11", like 225, 230. It's not fat. I'm a heavy cat. So understanding I'm sick and I'm labored and that shit is heavy, like underwater construction, like them old school Captain Nemo suits walking on the bottom of the ocean. Jesus Christ. I have to lose some weight before I get really old. I'm gonna be looking like Pearl from the Blade movie, sitting up and being a puddle of a person. Anyway, on to the geek shit. Like I said, sports stream if you feel so inclined. If you're having any problems with Cash App, let me know because I locked that Cash App card and let it run for that 2 weeks I was gone. And for that 2 weeks I was gone, down there every day somebody was trying to hit that shit for money. So it was compromised, and I didn't want them to send a new card until I was back. So I just left that motherfucker turned off. So it works for donations and whatnot, but ain't nothing coming off of that motherfucker. So I just got back. I just told them to send me my new card. So it should be coming, but it should still work. It just has a different output and number, but it's still the same account. So if you have any issues, let me know. I don't think you should. But is that even up there? That's why. So that'll be good. FYI, not to change the also was this shit. Binge watched it yesterday. Alger's Hot is awesome. Malika, I just finished. I got that article that you sent me this morning. I'm gonna tell you this, and you know we got love. Just say hello. I don't mind getting texts. I don't mind having stuff to look at. Just say hello. That shit bother me. And I was talking to my mother about that shit the other day. We were talking about how I was raised, and it's like it seems formal to people nowadays. It's really formal, but you acknowledge a person before you start running on with them. Just say hello. But I'm reading the article right now that you sent me because I just finished watching Cross, the last episode, because I fell asleep on it last night because I was binge watching it yesterday. I was binging it yesterday and was loving it. And that last episode, yeah, that was some good shit. That was good. And I was feeling the character and I was feeling Aldous Hodge. And I just got to the part in the article where he was talking about why he won't watch any of the other movies to do his show, which I understand it in a way. I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but he's doing his work and he's executive producer on this, so I don't see a problem in that. I mean, the dude doing Reacher, what is it, Alan Richardson? I believe I remember him saying he didn't watch the Tom Cruise Reacher's movies. He had never watched them. Fine. It's not impacting his performance any because he's playing a different Reacher. It's still the same Reacher character, but he's doing it differently than Tom Cruise is doing it. And it's a good ass show. So I don't have a problem with that. Fucking Variety. And if you didn't know, Well, you read the article, so you sent it to me, so you do know. Aldous Hodge is one of the executive producers on this show. That's good for him. That's a big win for him. That's a big win for him. I've said this before. I said this about Elizabeth Banks and Tom Cruise specifically. I don't necessarily have a problem with some actors, not every actor, but some actors taking charge of some of these properties and putting the love into it to keep portraying this character, right? Like Tom Cruise owns that Mission Impossible franchise now. He does. That's why it's always a movie with Ethan Hunt in it. He's in every movie, but he gets paid off of that shit. And that's fine because it's in keeping with what he can bring to the damn role and what he wants to do. Because every Mission Impossible movie sells off the stunts and the actor. And you believe him because make no mistake about it, everybody else thinks Tom Cruise is crazy. Tom Cruise is not crazy. He's just not afraid. I watched this man jump off a roof at the Olympics to rappel down just to help promote a movie and the Olympics coming to Hollywood in 4 years. That dude ain't crazy. He's just not afraid. And you can do stuff like that when you're not afraid, when you're willing to take some risk, some calculated risk, right? He didn't jump off that shit with no rope. That would make him crazy. No. Calculated risk is what you deal with in life all the time. All the time. But you also can't be afraid. If you're afraid, you're never going to do shit because fear keeps you from doing anything. It's the whole point of paralyzing fear. So I'm fine with that. So Aldous Hodge actually being the next one of these stars who has come into a franchise and actually help executive produce it in a character. Hell, he might be made for this character. He might be. Because I like his depiction of the character and trust I've watched every version of Alex Cross in the movies and I own a bunch of books. Okay. I'm liking his portrayal of Alex Cross. And make no mistake, Malika, Cross was on the list for what I was talking about today. It was already on the list. Flat out. You know me. Especially since The Acolyte, there have been shows that come out that I'm really leaning on black folks specifically about. Don't tell me you was watching one thing and you didn't watch this one black show. You gave it no time, no shine. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear no black dude telling me all about Dune Prophecy and can't tell me nothing about Cross. Starring, executive produced, written, directed, bunch of black folks. And you ain't watched one episode of it? Don't even have an opinion on it, and they dropped all 8 of them at the same time. Don't tell me about Rings of Power and ask me if I watched Rings of Power season 2 and you ain't watched Cross season 1. No, I spent no time doing that shit, but I did spend time watching Cross and I was not disappointed, especially after watching The Penguin. I was not disappointed. That was a good jump off. It was a good follow that cab. I don't think I'm going to get the same thing watching Dune Prophecy. And I'm a fan of the Dune series. I just don't give a shit about watching a show all about the Bene Gesserits, though. Because that's what this era of Hollywood wants to pull on. If I were really that interested in watching it, I would go back and read the Dune books that I haven't, which is Chapter House and stuff like that goes into the start of the Bene Gesserits and whatnot. I don't need them to make a show and do their reverse Handmaid's Tale, I guess, of how women come to power. Not really that interested. Not that damn interested. I like Hodges' portrayal over Morgan and Tyler's. The episode highlights the sins of the mothers and the son husbands. Yeah, that was one of the things that I wanted to. I was going to bring up with Dr. Tia-san to see if he watched it and what he thought about it, because it does hit on that very, very matriarchal and how these women can corrupt children, can be really evil, can be really goddamn evil. I'm serious. That last episode, look, I'll just say this. We watched Penguin, and a mother and son in a crime family getting doused with gasoline and lit on fire was like, oh my God, that's kind of shocking. In this show, they doused two little kids, two innocents, with gasoline. And some woman's about to light their ass up like a Roman candle. Unless the father makes a choice between which one he wants to go. Get the fuck out of here. It was, boy, it was rough. It was some rough shit happening in that show. But that is part and parcel of an Alex Cross story. It's never super fantastic. It's always real world stuff. And it is really some disturbed people. Said episode 5 was the best battle of the brains. I could see that. Because here's the thing about this show too. I'll say this. The shows are hour long. Each episode is an hour long. I lost my place. Right? Because this is the thing when they drop stuff all at one time. You can binge it and it'll just keep playing. Right? You might not know when you switch to another episode unless you hear the credits and you hear it start up again. It might start right away. So it breaks up your understanding of what you're seeing in what block. It does. It breaks it up a little bit. But for my memory, episode 5, yeah, that was a battle of brains. I can say, though, the roughest shit outside of the kids, getting set to be flambéed, the roughest part was the fanboy taking the chisel to the chick's teeth and busting her fucking teeth out of her mouth. I'm like, oh, bruh, what the fuck? Disturbing. Yeah, that happened to you too? Yeah. It was disturbing. Because make no mistake about it, what this killer does is, and I'm saying this is not really ruining it. I don't think it's really ruining the story because there's a lot going on in this. He will delete people after he's made them look like another convicted and killed serial killer. And one of the ones he's going after is a woman, and she has some messed up teeth. But the person he kidnaps that looks like her does not have messed up teeth. But since his recreation needs to be so perfect, he numbs her mouth up, puts the little dental stuff in there to keep her mouth open, and goes in there with a hammer and a chisel and breaks her natural teeth the fuck out to give her a prosthetic that looks like the other dead killer's messed up teeth. Ugh. No, man. No. No. That was rough. That was some rough stuff. If you've never seen that old Dustin Hoffman movie, I don't think it's called The Dentist or whatever, where this kid shows up to get some dental work done, and he don't know he walked into a situation where they looking for a spy. They have his ass in the dentist chair torturing him, thinking he's the spy. He don't know shit. He don't even know what the hell they doing. But they sitting there in his mouth with stuff just going to work on him. Oh. Terrible. Episode 1 to 8, there were many breadcrumbs and Easter eggs. It was. And if you're really a devotee and read a lot of the books, you'll see a lot of the stuff going on in there. I haven't read a lot of the books. I own a lot of the books. I've read like 2 of them, I think, but they were years ago. I'm not remembering a lot on the ones I read. So I actually need to go back and read that again. I need to read a couple of those again so I can get refreshed on it. But the show on its own is very well made. It's a very well made show. I like the musical selections. I like the camera shots that they do. I like the emotion that Aldous Hodge gets to bring to a role. And it's in his eyes. I like seeing how he shows Alex's brain working. How you see this man figuring out this stuff. Because understand, being a detective is a lot about not just finding clues and answers and following leads, but it's also about taking in everything around you, understanding that you need to be paying attention to everything, and not just everything that's involved in the case, everything in the outside world. You are a repository of knowledge. And the more you learn, especially about stuff that you don't usually know about, the better you are at solving crimes that might involve some shit that you don't usually always in circles you roll in, because it's all information. I look at it in my daily life as it's a key to a door that you have not found yet. That's it. All information is useful if you know how to apply it. Until then, you might consider it useless information, but it's information nonetheless. That means it goes in the toolbox. I know something about this. That's what comes into play when you're being a detective and you're having to solve these weird ass cases and understand these things. It's about your comprehension, about you paying attention, about you being able to critically think through a lot of this stuff quickly. It helps, and that's what you see. And everybody's not a dumbass here. It's not just Alex Cross and then everybody else is stupid. No, he's sharp, a little sharper than most, but everybody else ain't a dumbass either. And the characters in it, which at least for me, I believe this is the first time I've seen his partner Samson depicted in anything, which is fun. It's new for me. It makes the story better to give him a grounding, to get an earlier version, in a sense, of Detective Alex Cross, and not the Alex Cross that works for the FBI already. And I think that's the difference, Malika, more so between Aldous Hodge's portrayal and Morgan Freeman's portrayal. Morgan Freeman was already working for the FBI, if I remember correctly. So it's an older version of Alex Cross. It's not the younger version of him. So I can accept a variance, huge variance in their portrayals of the character, because I'm not looking for him to just act like Morgan Freeman, just like I'm not expecting him to act like Tyler Perry. No. Fanboy is a classic case of narcissistic personality disorder and psychopaths. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. And I would caution against throwing out diagnoses on people that you don't understand. I don't think so. I wouldn't say he had a personality disorder at all because he was very social and could deal with people. You could say he was narcissistic just because he kept himself really together, right? He's really fastidious with his disposition. But I wouldn't say he had a personality disorder. He was not disordered in any way, really. He was very organized. So I could see that narcissistic part, but that's the organizational thing. He was controlling more than anything. That was his whole thing, control. Narcissism has more to do with your appearance, but control was the main thing that he was going for around everything. Because he was very personable, and that's how he made his inroads to have all those connections to everybody else. But I don't want to go that deep into talking about it because it will ruin the show for people that I want to watch it. And psychopath, yeah, maybe. What's up, Dre? Maple Leaf Salute. I've never seen the show, but I did read the books in the past. You should watch the show then. Yeah, you should watch the show. You can binge on it all week because it's an hour-long show, so you can binge on it all week, episode a day or whatever, and you'll be good. Alex is a good balance of intelligence, complexity, grief, humility, and a man willing to do what is right, even at the expense of himself. Yeah. And the other thing that I like that he does take accountability. He takes a huge amount of accountability for his actions. At different points, he does. He takes a lot of accountability for how he's acting, how he's behaving. Now, the only thing that kind of fell false to me that they might have wanted to work on a little bit more is his relationship with those kids. I think Aldous Hodge seemed a little bit too standoffish with the kids. He was good at showing he loved them, but it always came across like it was play acting in some senses. But that was just me. I didn't see the kids doing a lot of dumb shit. And the things that the kids did made sense for the kids if they're spending more time with the nana and the best friend uncle than the father. That was the part that was rubbing me a little bit. Yes, you love them. You can say you love them a lot, but we don't see you doing a lot with them outside of leaving in the morning or being there at night for dinner or something like that. I'm not seeing that a lot. Wasn't seeing it enough, I should say. But otherwise, the character had very many levels, many layers to him, and it came across on the screen. That he was in some situations sometimes where he was just, you could see it like, oh shit, this is gonna be bad. Going to be bad. But that's a good show. What else did I want to say on the show? A lot of the characters had real reactions, which was good. If you had black friends, hearing them talk and stuff like that and deal with each other, the characters seemed like they were actually real people reacting. And that was fun. Because you get how do I say this? You get the nuances that is people who know each other, right? giving each other shit sometimes, you know, being funny with each other, being sympathetic to each other all at the same time. Where yes, we work together and we have a good working relationship. We kind of know each other, but sometimes it's like, man, kiss my ass. Like for real. Sometimes it's just that. And it's not taken in an overly 2024 millennial kind of way. Like, why are you doing my feelings? Oh my God. It ain't none of that. It ain't none of that shit. People say what they say as grown folks, and you stand on it to handle it or be upset. That's your fucking business. But what was said was what was said. Ain't nobody running around crying and belly aching and you need to talk to so and so because he said something that hurt my feelings. Ain't none of that dumb shit. No, it's grown folks. Grown folk business. I could say that the show was, I wouldn't say it's female centric, but there is a lot of females in it. A lot of females, a lot of black females in it. And how that comes across, and especially what like a season long, there's a lot of mother-son dynamics, son-husband dynamics, simp enforcer dynamics around in the show. And I don't think it's put in there to damage the characters in any kind of way. I think it's put in there more so in the sense to show the interactions of these people with these women in their lives. What up, Mr. Matt? Says shout out to Arson. Appreciate you, sir. We're talking about Cross on Amazon Prime, Alex Cross show with Aldous Hodge. So I liked it. I having landed in DC, but never having been able to spend any time in DC. I like seeing the different known spots and seeing people interacting with each other like this is a real place where black people are. Yeah, it was a good show. It was a really good show. It was. It was a good. I'm telling you, I finished Penguin and went on to Alex Cross. I was not disappointed in that. That kept me in the real vein going through it. The only thing I did not do is because I binged it because I had planned to watch it on my flight back since I had 2 hours to get to DC, 2 hour layover, and then 5 hours to fly back to the West Coast. I had some time to watch some damn movie, so I downloaded all 8 episodes so I can watch it on my flight, and I got through 2 or 3 episodes. 2 episodes. And then when I got home yesterday, finally home, sitting on my couch, I just went ahead and watched the whole thing flat out. I didn't worry about recording episodic reviews or anything like that because they dropped the season all in one go. So I could do one video and review it. And if people actually want to see episodics of it, then I can go back and do that. It wouldn't be a problem. Excuse me. So yeah, it was good. It's like DC's version of The Wire. I heard a content creator say that. No. I think the problem with a lot of people sometimes outside of put it this way, everything is not like something else. It's not. It makes it easier to explain it to people what it is if you say, hey, it's kind of like this. But you have to understand what the comparison is and why they're comparing it in that way. I like The Wire. I haven't finished The Wire. Okay. And I finally started watching The Wire, not because everybody kept raving about it so damn much. It's because Angry Man talked about it so damn much. And he saw so much deeper into The Wire, psychology of men and everything else that I wanted to understand what he was seeing in it more so. because I could have wrote the shit off as just some other street shit that I didn't necessarily need to see because I don't have an over reverence for the street life. I don't. I don't. So for me and being a black man and black folks, you can give me something else other than some basic shit I can see on my own without having to watch a TV show. That's not where my interest lies. But watching it, actually giving the show its chance, recognizing there's a lot of good actors in this show, a lot of good actors that came out of this show that people know of. Young Michael B. Jordan, Idris Elba, a couple of the other cats that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. Certain memes and gifs and stuff like that. I went ahead and watched the show. It's a damn fine show. It is a damn fine show. Now I am up to, where did I stop? I believe it was season 3 with the little longshoremen and shit like that. That story got convoluted and kind of fucking boring. Honestly, it did. So I got to go on to season 4 to see if they got back to formula. But I do appreciate the show for what it was, and happy that it was good. Appreciate your studio for supporting the stream. I will give you, well, I got to do Malika first. I forgot to give it to Malika. Appreciate Malika for donating to the stream first. He was first donated to the stream. I will give you, where are my things? There they are. Yeah, it's time to clean this up. The guts and butts. Appreciate you, Malika.
Double up. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lie. Let's run it up. Never let a hard time on the was.
And to UYP Studio, East Coast. Appreciate the studio. I will give you the guts and butts as well.
Double up. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lie. Let's run it up. Never let a hard time on the was.
So, point being, Mr. Matt, by saying that the Penguin is like DC's version of The Wire, cheapens it in a way for it not to stand on its own, to be comparable only to itself. And it cheapens The Wire in that way, too, to make it like, well, it's just an offshoot of a comic book movie. It's not. The Wire is good because it is a street level story of people in this hood, white, black, whatever, and what they're trying to do. Earlier on, when people first started talking about this damn Penguin show, they were trying to compare it to Scarface. Oh, it's just come to power, because that's the easy way to say what the show is about and write it off without watching it any further. It went far beyond being anything about like Scarface, somebody's rise to power, because that's the lazy mind not wanting to do any work. That's why I get pissy about, oh, it's like such and such. Okay. I'll do it too at times, but it's just to try to help people along in a sense. But what I will also follow it up with, which is you should watch it for yourself, so you can make your determination on what you think it is. Because for me, being an old ass, I'm not trying to give people quick sound bites of shit. I do long form content, and I want them to actually spend time to watch something and think about it. So I'm not going to give you the short version of, it's kind of like this, it's kind of such and such and like, because understand, when you say that to somebody and they take that in, they make a determination from what you say is like on if they should watch it or not. Maybe they didn't like The Wire. Maybe they never saw The Wire, which means they'll never watch The Penguin. All right. But that's how human beings are. That's how their brains operate. It's like confirmation bias. I'll only like something if it's like something else I've already had before. That's how women operate. So I try to tell you what it is. A point in it might be like something, but in and of itself, Penguin is a damn good show. To be a comic book, to be based around a character who is a comic book character, that's a damn good show. That get into no comic book shit whatsoever, and you never see goddamn Batman in the show, and I'm happy about that shit. I am fucking ecstatic about that for the finale of the Penguin. You never saw fucking Batman, and the show is awesome. No capes, no repelling, no fighting, none of that shit. And every time I listen to somebody review the show and they complain about Batman not showing up, well, Batman wouldn't be allowing that. It's fucking year 2 Batman. He has no stranglehold on crime. Shut the fuck up. He is not a force like that. Year 2, year 3 Batman, he is not that big of a presence. He's not. You know how you know? Go back and watch the Matt Reeves Batman movie. The motherfucker had to knock on the door to get in the 44 below, to get in the club, the Iceberg Lounge. What force that has everybody quaking in their boots that are actually doing some serious crime has to knock on the front fucking door? They didn't even believe his fucking ass was real in the Matt Reeves movie. Mind you, this Penguin shit is happening right after Riddler got locked up. It ain't that long after, like a week or two. He's not a presence like that. He don't run the city. Yeah, small time crooks might know who he is because he whooping on their ass, but he ain't that far up the food chain like that. That's why he can sit there in the Iceberg Lounge with Oz Cobb, and Oz be looking at him like he ain't shit and still carrying out a whole fucking drug deal in front of him. He ain't that kind of presence yet. Barely believed he was real. Like, oh shit, it's the Batman. Oh, so you're real, huh? Oh, you beautiful. Yeah, come on, we'll talk. Yeah, exactly. Stop making people use brain cells. I can't help it, man. It's not my fault. I love kicking people's brains in the gear. So it's not Matt. Matt already thinking. He already watched Cross, so I know he a thinker anyway. Like he did the homework. Okay, he did the homework for the church sermon. He already did the homework. We just having a discussion about why other content creators might say it's like this or like that. No, say it's like itself. And that makes people have to go watch it. Do you like stories where people actually use their brains and actually figure their way out or end up in really messed up situations? You might want to go watch that shit. Because the Penguin, put it this way, here's me playing on this, Matt. The Penguin, Cross is like the Penguin, and the Penguin is like Cross. Because they're both criminals? No, not because they're both criminal. They're like one another because it's dealing with the real world. And people have to use their fucking brains and not a hail of bullets to understand the situations that they're in and deal with it. It deals with really messed up people that walk around amongst other people all the time and are really into some really different shit. And at least in Alex Cross's show, he's responsible for figuring out and catching these goddamn people. Especially when they have, fixations on him because he put away one of their other crazy motherfucking friends. The Penguin, he has his fixations on power. But one thing that you will see that's like in both of them, if you want to see how, and this is not a misogyny thing, these are the shows that are made. If you want to see how women in charge of certain kids by themselves can fuck them up, watch The Penguin and watch Alex Cross. That's what you can see. That you need some help and some manhandling on these damn kids, because otherwise that shit can run amok. You will make a killer. Your overlove, your lack of love, you will make a goddamn problem for everybody else. Because make no mistake about it, the fanboy and Cross, what was his problem? Y'all watched it, Matt. You watched it, Malika. What was his damn problem? Who was his issue that set him on his way to be the narcissist, as Malika was calling him? Who was his problem? Was his daddy? Or was it his mama, who was already crazy? Like, good shows. This is good goddamn shows. So me finishing The Penguin, being on that high of how good that show was, and it was good all the way through, and I was happy because I didn't need somebody to tell me it was a good show for me to start watching it. It didn't take 3 episodes and, having my finger up in the air for the way the wind is blowing to figure out to watch it. No, I was already watching it from episode 1. And I had been riding with it all the way through. And I enjoyed the ride completely. I didn't see Batman one time, and that made perfect fucking sense to me because he don't have no place in that shit. All that we need a Batman in the shit is the same reason why these movies and shows that you like fail every time. Because that kind of fan base can only get you to ruining shit and injecting stuff that don't belong in there anyway. And at least the people who wrote this show was smart enough. Yeah, it is breakfast time. Was smart enough to know that Matt Reeves and the chick who wrote it, Lauren, whatever her name was, smart enough to know that injecting the Batman into this overpowers the fact that it's a Penguin show. Exactly. Why did Gotham suck? Why did it start sucking? You can look at the advertisement for Gotham, and what do you see? Jim Gordon, the actor playing Jim Gordon, but then a young Bruce Wayne with the shadows turning into bats and shit. It's like, is the show about young Bruce Wayne, or is it about Gordon? It's supposed to be about Gordon. What the fuck is Bruce Wayne there for? Like, you hearken into the Batman. That's what killed the fucking show. Oh, here we go, JT. Grabbing little kids. You're right. Fucking facts. Facts and truth. Yeah, he doesn't even know some of these people exist yet. He might know, but he can't do nothing about it. He don't. This is the thing. Man, this is me and Matt talking right now. Right. This is the thing about that whole thing about the Batman worship shit. I like Batman. I do like Batman as a character, right? Because Batman is a detective, just like Alex Cross is a detective, right? That's why I like the Matt Reeves version of Batman, because he played up his detective work more than the gadgets and the brutality in the Batmobile. That's why I liked it. What did you see him doing? He would stalk around slowly and just observe the crime scene. Because he's doing detective work. You know, the shit that they never really get into when they put Batman in a movie or a show. They want you to see him kicking somebody's ass, swinging on a rappelling line. They want to see the costume. They want to see the cowl. They need to see the Batmobile, all of this shit that has nothing really to do with what the character is supposed to be fucking about. The world's greatest detective. Not the world's greatest ass kisser. Or excuse me, ass kicker. No, he is. He's one of them. But that's not what DC is built on. DC is built on detective comics, not ass kick comics. So, because of that, and it's year 2, you still sneak around most of the goddamn time. You know, the motorcycle helmet and the hoodie and shit like that on, just walking the streets. Because he's not known like that. Yeah, him and Gordon have been working together for a couple years. Yeah, cool. The GCPD knows who he is. Yeah, cool. But he ain't plugged into the way he can take down large mob families all by himself. Or he can interject himself into the middle of a mob war amongst each other and just take them all out. That ain't who the fuck he is at that point in time. That's why I like it. He ain't that damn connected like that. He's not that much of a threat like that. That's why he didn't need to be in that fucking show. And that's why he never needed to show up at any of this stuff going on. Oh, you gotta see the Batman. He can't let that go on in his city. It ain't his fucking city yet. That's the point. It ain't his goddamn city yet. He just started 2 years in. And if you go back to the Matt Reeves movie, he was thinking about quitting. Didn't think he was having an effect in 2 years. So it's too early for him to be the comic book Batman threat. And that's the problem. They keep wanting the comic book to come into this realistic depiction in a show. They keep wanting that comic book version. And that's what fucks it up every time. No. That's why I didn't want to see Batman. It's not his goddamn show. And it don't need to be his show. What they showed me of Batman, little nods and hints to what might have been in the Batman movie, and seeing the bat signal at the end was perfect. That's perfect. I never saw his ass. I never saw a fucking cow. And the one lead in you got for the next Batman movie was they showed the goddamn bat signal. Cool. Done. Perfect story. You did a story about a character in that Batman universe, and you never needed to see the Batman one fucking time. And it was awesome. Do you think Batman injected in that would have improved it any? No. You know why? Nobody in that bitch was wearing a costume. Nobody was repelling off of anything. Nobody was doing no extraordinary comic book shit. Everything was grounded. So grounded, in fact, that the character that you've watched from episode 1 up to episode 8, that you kind of found yourself liking, they choked that motherfucker out brutally right in front of you. No glitz, no glamour, just and had you like, the fuck? Oh my God. That was the level of realism in the show. That's why the show was good. It wasn't good because it introduced all these comic book elements. It was good because it kept it fucking real the whole time. No comical deaths. No exploding umbrellas. No quacking and shit like that. None of that goofy shit. They kept it real to what a Batman world is. The Batman world is real shit. The people he goes after outside of the, the big ones that are colorful, that, are the comic book types, is really real and relatable. And that's what makes this shit scary. You don't think so? Name the Joker's power. Name the Joker's power. He don't have one. And he is one of the scariest villains they have. With no powers. Just a brain and a will to do whatever the fuck he think up. To regular people. Even people with superpowers, metahumans, are afraid of him. The same way metahumans are afraid of Batman. And he's just a regular fucking dude. And that's the knock on him that actually works against him. He's just a regular dude in a cape. Mm-hmm. Until what? He figure out how to defeat you, or he beat the fuck out of you. Then you thinking about that regular man. Then it make a difference. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. Banner is going across the bottom of the screen. Andre said, it says this version of Cross starts after his wife's death, and coincidentally I just reread Double Cross like a month ago. I didn't read the Double Cross, so I can't tell. I can't say what story, the story that's in Double Cross and where it happens. But this does happen. This Cross series does happen a year after his wife Maria gets killed, and him dealing with that, which is a good place to drop it in, because it keeps it'll give you glimpses of what took place in that year since, while the story is moving forward from that point. That there is some baggage that you didn't see, but it will come up in like a flashback or something like that, which is helpful. Sure will. Cheap thrills and confetti. Yeah, no cheap thrills, no confetti. No real substance on some of those shows. Yeah, there isn't any real substance on some of the shows. That's why they suck. The substance is agenda and clicking boxes for people who need to see that goofy shit just to enjoy it, so it can tie back to something that they recognize, and not have them sit there and have someone tell them a story and let it unfold without a bunch of signposts along the way saying that we're going the same direction we've gone in every other show. I don't need those. I like to think about what I'm watching. Batman is part of the Gotham mythos. He is not the Gotham. Yeah, he is not the Gotham mythos. He's part of the mythos. He's not the mythos. He is a legend in Gotham, yes, but so are the villains in Gotham. And some of them existed before his ass got there. And at least in the Matt Reeves world that he created, these Maronis and Falcones and all these gangs and shit existed prior to 2 years ago. Which means before Bruce Wayne decided to put on a cowl and start riding his motorcycle through the streets and kicking somebody's ass, they was already doing their business. They already had history. He is not that big of a threat. So that's why they having their own little beefs going on, and he ain't showed up one time because he ain't got that kind of stroke yet. He is not that kind of a problem. That motherfucker, he damn near got killed just fucking with the Riddler people. And those are supposed to be incel nerds. Yeah, more detective than a superhero. Exactly. Anybody understanding Batman? Batman does not like metahumans. He's not really into that superhero shit. I would say he doesn't even see himself as a superhero, but he is the person out in his city trying to solve these crimes and put an end to that shit. You can call it superheroics, but there ain't shit super about him except his will to do that shit. Grounding is DC's superpower. I wouldn't say that, but the heart, let's say Silver Age or something like that of DC characters were mostly grounded. They didn't have super fantastical powers, which is why I like Superman, but I'm not overly on with the one that has powers that can do everything. The ones I tend to like, there's very few that I like that. Very few comic book characters that I like that. But most of the characters I do like are usually really grounded because they are closer to what they're trying to help. And that makes it relatable. Yeah, I like those big grand stories of fighting things out in space and shit like that. Yeah, that's awesome. So we got Green Lanterns for. But that I watch from on high and I have more power than anybody that can do anything to me, but I'm really trying to be nice to you, that doesn't always work with me. I don't have that kind of, stop me if you heard this somewhere before, I don't have that kind of hero complex. Which was a good title. And I could say this also about the Cross Show. They titled the whole season. The whole season has a title from the very first episode. It tells you season 1, the hero complex. And very skillfully done. Every episode gives you a version. You get to see that hero complex come out in him because he tells you what it is in him. And you see it every episode. I thought that was very clever, very well done. Like, I don't know, naming my show The Hero's Journey, and I just give you segments, mile markers every week on this one journey for a year. Still fitting the same thing, but you're seeing what's going on every step of the way. Or at least every time I make a lap. Well, a BMT and Trigger Man in the building. A lot of Batman's movies of late have had nothing to do with forensic research. Very little. Even Christopher Nolan's realistic ass. There was only one point where Batman was actually doing detective work when he was trying to figure out that bullet fragment shit. Because the studio push is always to have Batman just swinging and fighting and driving his cars. That's Spectrum Kia Theater. But intelligent people, and I don't say that to besmirch anybody, I'm just saying, just intelligent people. This is how I understand it. Intelligent people look for something more than the flashing lights and explosions. What is the reasoning that you're punching this motherfucker in the face? What have you learned to get you to the point that you need to be in the car racing off somewhere? You need more. You need something to tickle the intellectual pickle and not the easy reptilian brain of fight something, fuck something, destroy something. You need a little bit something more. And it usually revolves around that detective work and using the one muscle, the biggest one that you have, that needs to be developed, just like the ones on your arms and your legs, your brain. Because if you can't punch everybody in the face, what else are you going to do? You're probably going to do like the penguin and think your way out of situations every time. and figure out how to manipulate these dumb fucks to get themselves into positions where you can end up taking over. And you never had to swing, and you might not even have to bust a shot. And you still get everything you wanted. So, yeah, a lot of Batman movies don't focus on that because they're playing to the masses what the masses want. The masses want the explosions and shit. I know Batman can fight. It's a give. It's like saying we're doing a movie about Daredevil. Do you think he's not going to fight? Of course he's going to fight. The motherfucker has one power and he's blind in Hell's Kitchen. He's going to be fighting. He's going to be fighting. Same thing with saying Batman. He's going to be fighting. If you said Superman walking through Gotham with no powers, then you think he's going to get his ass kicked. Yeah, and that's why I like BMT. Yeah, early Batman took some L's some nights. Yeah, and that's why I like the idea of an early stage Batman. No prep time. No, I've been out here for 15 years and I've trained 5 different Robins and I fought Ra's and beat Ra's multiple. None of that shit. This motherfucker early in his career. Early. Sophomore Batman? Yeah, I'm down. I'm down because then I can get more interesting stories out of his ass. Other than the fact I got it all planned out every time. Not the MacGuffin of prep time. No. He got to work for it now. Every time. Every time he got to work for it. What's the fun of Batman Beyond? It's not because Terry has it all figured out, even though he got Bruce there who's figured out a lot of this shit already. Terry hasn't. That's why it's Terry's fucking story. Bruce is just there to help a little bit. Because that is the journey you want to see people go through. You want to see them struggle, overcome, get better. Struggle, overcome, get better. Struggle, fail. Try to get better. That's what you want to see. But if they got it every fucking time, what the fuck do I care? Had to have some tough talk with him about progression as a man. Yeah. And that's the relationship I like with Bruce and Alfred, where Alfred actually challenges him. Yeah, I might be your butler. Yes, I might have been your first trainer. Yes, I might have been the first person to teach you how to do some medical work on yourself. Yes, but don't think I'm going to sit here and take all this shit off of you and not say nothing. Don't think that. No, I can give you some words. Love you like a son. Speak you up a little bit. But it's not from a place that it's just subordination, just to be subordination. No, fuck that. Alfred was a man before Bruce was ever fucking a seedling. I don't think he lost his manhood just because he decided to be a butler. You put too much effort, you put too much stock into the title that people have, and not enough to what they've actually done, what they choose to do. That's like saying a garbage man can't beat your ass or teach you anything. Because he's a garbage man. Maybe that's what he want to do. What was the rule from Under Siege with Steven Seagal? Just a lowly cook. This is a fucking cook? He's just a cook. Well, he was a Navy SEAL. Decided to get out since he went at, what was it, a general or some shit? And the only rank he could take after that, after doing what he had been doing for so long, he was a cook. It's more than a fucking cook. A lot goddamn more. And you didn't find out until you start fucking with him. So don't put too much stock in those titles. Black Mask and the mob families ran the city. At different points, different mobs have run the city. That's the whole point. That's why he can never get a handle. Batman can never get a handle and stop out crime completely because it's always been warring factions, gangs, and mob and stuff like that. Him showing up just brought the superpowered freak element out of it as well. So now they involved in it. It's a fucking melting pot of fucking crime and shit. Yeah, the implied flashbacks and Cross are very powerful stuff. It was a damn good show. Damn good show. I'm mad at myself for trusting Penguin, knowing he wasn't shit from the beginning. You don't have to be mad at yourself. It's just the nature of personality. Because you have to remember, you knew coming into this show that Penguin was a villain. You knew he was a villain. You know he's a Batman villain. You knew that from the jump. So you going this whole way with him and then getting to a point and thinking, oh man, that's a bit too far. Why you do that? In for a penny, in for a pound, motherfucker. What did you who do you think we were dealing with here? This is not a hero. Not from the beginning, none of it. He wasn't a hero. Ever. You empathize with him a little bit, but he was always a bad dude. He killed people on camera. From the first episode on, he was taking people out. Remember how this whole show kicked off? He killed Carmine's son, Alberto, because Alberto was laughing at his ass about his dream. He blew that motherfucker away. And then what? Wrapped his goddamn body up and hid it. He was never a good dude. Never. But that's what makes the storytelling of Penguin so compelling. You see him do some absolutely egregious shit. And you ride with it. You ride with it. You understand, well, in that situation, it was probably understandable. Who here agrees that, selling drugs to the community is a good idea? That's the thing to do. That's a good move. Who agrees with that shit? And if you do, why aren't you selling drugs right now? Who agrees that burning a mother and son alive is is the plan? That's a good idea. Finding your local council member and grabbing him by the flagella with a pair of needle nose pliers and pulling on that shit till he agrees to turn the power on in a ran down part of the city is an all right move. Really? What about taking the ring off the hand of a man you just killed and taking it to another dude in prison because you know everybody is looking for this dude that you just killed? And so you drop evidence of the murder off with some dude in prison while telling him you're going to work with him to kill the other crime family. Smart move. Fucked up human being. Nothing he was doing was supposedly good. It was good for him. But you watched him do all this reprehensible shit the whole time. And you rode with it. Understand that he's not a good person. And he wasn't turning Vic into a good person either. It's the beauty of the fucking show. You kind of divorce that whole idea from it because he's the protagonist of the story. The story is centered around him. And you understand, if you look at it in that sense, you understand how you make your excuses and connections with this character based on the journey that they're going through, and you start feeling things and inferring things. One of which is you start seeing the halo effect that no, he's not a bad guy. No, he always was a bad guy. From episode 1 to episode 8, he's been the same guy. The only thing different is you. You start putting the halo on your eyes and putting them over his head and excusing the shit that he was doing because you start liking him. It's the same thing with women. That's how they can always be with some reprehensible, abusive, killer ass types. Because that infatuation, that attraction starts giving you them beer goggles effect. Like, oh, they're just so wonderful. It's totally understandable. He won't hit me again. Okay. Guess we'll find out. So that's why the show was good. Really mature, intelligent writing. That's what made the show good. No comical elements in it. It wasn't even funny. They had funny moments where people would say funny shit, but it wasn't a funny show. And I didn't hear nobody giving it the same smoke they give Andor because, oh, they give you hope. It's not a fucking hopeful time. The fuck are you talking about? Batman and his rogues gallery are a result of crime and chaos in Gotham. Exactly. It was already in Gotham. Gotham is the problem. If you want to know, and if you want to be real about it, Gotham is the character. Gotham is the protagonist. Batman might be the antagonist because he's trying to stop Gotham from being what the fuck Gotham is, a crime-ridden fucking cesspool. And Batman is trying to stop it from being that shit. Or understand that's what it's going to be, but, fix it a little bit so it doesn't, boil over. Yeah, Matt Murdock. Yep. What up, Herb? Shout out to the Herb Estate all day. Excuse me. The coffee. Oops, I got a text message that somebody was outside. How long ago was this? Too much food, buffet style. No, different text. Mm-hmm. Every hero develops complexities with their own journey and makes them more intense, interesting, and a good story. Yes, every character, you would hope, not even just a hero. The villain has a story and an arc too. We always talk about the hero's journey, right? What's the villain's journey? Well, as I understand, it's probably the same as the hero's, just with a little flip, right? Because villains fail, right? Villains fail all the time. But what they have to do is go at it again to try to see their plans come to fruition. You just went on the villain's journey in The Penguin. How many times did he fail? How many? How did he succeed finally to one of his goals? Because he has his own goals, his own drives, his own motivations. As fucked up as they may be, he has them. You got to see him. And you got to see how far he was willing to go to make those dreams come true and to achieve his goals. As far as killing his own siblings. That is not the hero's journey. That's the villain's journey. The people he's willing to kill to make his shit happen. The heroes on the flip side is the people here that's not willing to kill and not willing to lose to make that shit happen. That's why Rorschach calls him the detective. A lot of people call him the detective. Raish. Oh, you meant to say Raish. Yeah, Raish. That's exactly why Raish, because Raish respects Batman's mind. That's why he calls him detective. He don't call him Batman. Fuck that shit. That's for the people that read the newspapers and need something colorful to hold on to. He knows who he is, which is the detective. Because that's how he beats Raish, using his brains. And he got to fight too. They focus on his wealth and him using it to build other types of tech too. I like to see him focus on quick thinking and problem solving skills. I would love that shit. Or that's what I would love about the Batman character. That's what interests me about the character at all, outside of the whole psychological aspect of each one of his villains. His comic book villains are an aspect of his own personality, his own psyche. That's all they are. That's why you can find a lot of people in law enforcement that usually like Superman, but you can find a shitload of them that like Batman too, especially if they understand who Batman is. Batman is DC's version of Sherlock Holmes. That's why he's supposed to be the world's greatest detective, not the world's greatest ass kisser. I keep doing that shit. Ass kicker. My nose is stuffed up. Kicker. Ass kicker. That's why. That's why he's that and not the other thing. Penguin and Cross is not the show for the moronic or on the spectrum. No, it's not for the spectrum kids. They'll never be able to watch that shit all the way through. They won't. You know why? Because it takes too much time and there's no explosions. There's nothing to hold their attention. They don't get into the nuance of understanding a person's personality. Seeing a person act and react to a situation. You know, they have personality deficiencies. They don't have that kind of time. They won't sit that kind of time. So they'll never watch that goddamn show. They'll never get through it. It's not enough killing happening for them. And trust me, people are getting killed. But understanding who these characters are and how they move and shit like that, that takes a little bit more patience to sit and watch a show like that, where it's not a bang a minute. A lot of quick cuts, colorful shit, like you showed up to a rave or something like that. You have to invest, like with people. You have to spend that goddamn time to learn what you need to. That's how you get great detectives. They spend the time to learn. They don't run around making a bunch of goddamn 3-second snap judgments and that's just it. And that's just how it works. No. Nope. A hero working for the relatable to the audience and the show's progression and the character development. Yeah. Garbage men take out the trash. They do. And if you met a garbage man and actually believed or knew that he can kick your ass, who's to say he wouldn't take your ass out too? Oh, you know that garbage man? Yeah, that's a fucking ex-Army Ranger. What? Yeah, that motherfucker did like 3 tours in the hot zone. Like, get the fuck out of here. Why is he dumping garbage? He wanted to keep life simple. He's doing the same thing he was doing in downtown Fallujah, taking out the trash. Jack Reacher walk around and take the bus places. and do some damn fine detective work and kick some ass and leave some bodies some places too. So don't tell me it ain't believable. You try to sell me that shit like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, Jesus Christ, Jake Paul. We got some people on the Cash App side. If you're enjoying this content, please hit the like button. And if you think somebody else would like this shit, why don't you share the stream? I know it's not fast paced and quick and giggly and colorful and shit like that, but it just ain't. This is what it is. Shout out to 2 Triv for supporting the stream. Let's get 2 Triv on the board for the support. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to get some medicine soon. I need to turn my hot water on and get me some more Theraflu. So I had some breakfast, but I think I need to have a little bit more. My head is feeling low key swishy. I'm techie in this motherfucker. All right, so shout out to 2 Triv for supporting the stream. I will give you the 3B salute. Appreciate you, 2 Triv. Shout out to Joe Herr for supporting the stream. You said turkey money for Thanksgiving. Y'all got me tripping. I'm totally forgetting the fact that Thanksgiving is coming up, and that's like my favorite holiday. I was at my mother's house the other day. I left my mother's house, got off the plane, spent the night at my mom's because I had to go there to get my car, and then was bullshitting the next morning for hours talking with her. My family shit and some other things, and her boyfriend Tim was there, and he was like, happy Thanksgiving, and I stopped for me, like, the fuck is he talking about? And then I started thinking about it. It's like, oh yeah, Thanksgiving is like this week, ain't it? Oh, okay. It just didn't register at all with me. I'm like, what the fuck? What are we even doing for Thanksgiving? Okay, I guess it won't matter. So appreciate your for saying happy Thanksgiving. Maybe I gotta bring my deep fryer home from work and deep fried turkey here. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing for Thanksgiving. I'll probably eat something, I'm sure. So appreciate your Herb. I will give you big timer. I will give you that double that. Nope. You didn't say, so I'm gonna give it to you. Give you the power of many, man. Appreciate you, Herb.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
I saw this other video on Instagram. This other Russian workout shit. This chick was laying on their side and they was just, bro, I better not never go to Russia. I might be kind of scared because they workout videos is damn near pornographic, but they know how to work their bodies. I appreciate that kind of work, man. I'm feeling a little jealous. That's like, why don't we have this kind of shit over here? I mean, I remember it back in the 80s. Fuckers don't be working out now. They can't work shit. So, anyway, shout out to Aquatechie for supporting the stream. Appreciate you, Aquatechie. I will give you guts and butts. Appreciate you, Aquatechie.
Number one, 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lie, let's run it up. Never let a hard time on the ones.
Back to these commentor. Herb, and for all who just showing up now, about 2 hour and a half in, talking about 3 shows, and it keeps jumping back and forth. But we're talking about the Cross show on Amazon Prime with Aldous Hodge, and the Penguin finale with Colin Farrell, and compare and contrasting the two based on their comments, the comments that are in there. So you want to get in and throw something in there, jump in the chat, throw something in there, and we'll respond to it, or ask it in the question in the super chat form. That always helps. I loved how the writing made the audience root for the Penguin, only to snatch that feeling from you in the end. Yeah, is this your hero? This person you're rooting for, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, what about if you do this, bro? That was rough. It was rough, and in some ways you should have seen it coming, but the writing was so good you would think that, okay, this motherfucker gonna hang in there, because I told you I was making my predictions for who would have to die in this. Somebody was gonna have to die. They were gonna have to. It was a couple of people: Sophia, Francis, the mother, and Vic was gonna have to die, right? Sal, okay, yeah, Sal could or could not have died. Obviously, Oz is not dying. It's his fucking show. He's a main character, so he's gonna keeping on. But some of these other characters, some of these other actors are not movie actors. So for me, gauging it is, are you a movie actor? And would they bring you into the movie universe as well? Now, for my complaint on the Penguin, and I do have it on the Penguin, even as awesome as I thought the show was, I do have my complaints on the shit. And my main complaint on the show is that I think they saved them bitches. And to be more eloquent about it, I believe that the writing was such that the writer, getting towards the end of how reprehensible some of these women were, he found a way to redeem them in some senses and give them a pass and have their actions blamed on the men in their life. Even so much so, even going so far as to blame the behavior of Frances on her son, that it was the son's fault. I thought that was bullshit. I thought it was bullshit all the way around. I didn't like that. What up, AL? Big trucking out in this bitch. It's good with you. That's the part I didn't like. That was the part that bothered me. I can say that for sure. That shit bothered me. Because for the last 2-3 episodes of The Penguin, you would see her doing shit to kind of move these female characters off to the side and not blame them so much. And I'm like, this is bullcrap. I see what you're doing. You're doing it slowly, but I see you making a move. It's like watching a cat, right? You see them cat videos where the cat is gonna knock the cup off the table, but it's moving real slow. And you watching it and it's looking at you, but it's just moving real slow to keep budging that cup towards the edge to knock it off. That's the fuck she was doing. And I wasn't liking that. It's like, you don't have to redeem them. It's fine. You know, these women can be punished for what they did. They didn't get punished. They got a version of what punishment was, but they wasn't punished for what they did. Check this out. Sophia killed one woman in Arkham out of rage. Okay, that's her first kill. Beat her head against a metal table. Pretty vicious. After being out of Arkham, she bust some shots at some people. Can't say if she killed them or not. But she legitimately gassed and killed her whole family, minus her little cousin Gia. She barefaced in front of everybody blew the brains out of her cousin Johnny Vitti at the table in front of everybody else and didn't trip on it at all. Who else? She killed some other folks. She should have got her dome split. She should have ate a bullet or something. But by the time you get to the end of the season, you've kind of morphed Sophia into being more the tragic one, that it's all Carmine's fault. She just didn't know what she was doing. And now she gets to go to Arkham and find out about her half sister Selena, and she still gets to see Dr. Rush. No death, no escape, but she's supposed to be punished, being put somewhere she already survived through. Getting the benefit of finding out she got a sister and still having a man that she was side fucking in Arkham, outside of Arkham, being her doctor in Arkham. That's not punishment. Oh, hell no. She should have ate a bullet. She should have. She didn't. All right, fine. Frances Cobb. You went through this whole show seeing her losing her mind, but seeing how she interacted with her son, which was way foul, which was like, damn, she ain't got no love for this boy. Obviously. Talk to him crazy as fuck. He devoted. You kind of feel some sympathy for the motherfucker, which only triggers in you the understanding that you might have had that happen to yourself, or you understand how that feels, right? Well, it's the same thing. You don't like seeing kids getting treated that way by their parents. And after all of that, you find out, well, the only reason she's talking to him like that is because, he killed her other two children. And she knew it. And didn't tell him, didn't turn his ass in, didn't show up like Luke Skywalker in the middle of the night and try to slit that fat motherfucker's throat. No, she didn't do none of that shit. She just decided she was going to live off of him and let him provide her a lifestyle like he's her husband, and keep poking and prodding him to keep getting him to get out there and get that shit for her. Retaining the ability to talk to him and treat him like shit and break him down, bust his balls when she felt like it. But that's only because Oz was the devil. Huh? It's the kid's fault that she act like that? I thought adults had choices. She was already a single mother before he killed her two other older kids. And pining for her attention that was literally split between three other people. Her two sons, Jack and Benny, and working for Rex. Still no daddy in the picture. So don't tell me she was doing that just because he killed them two boys. No, she was doing that already. Because you could see when the two boys was alive, she liked the two of them more than she liked Oz anyway. She was gaslighting his ass. She my big, strong boy. She didn't like that motherfucker. For all you know, it was Rex's son. Because he didn't look nothing like the other two. Come on, man. Fuck no. She responsible for the shit that she did. She was already working for gangsters. You think she was a nice person? The fuck out of here. Everybody knew what Rex did. She was doing the numbers. She was working the ledgers. And Rex was out there extorting protection money from people in the hood. Frances wasn't a nice person. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. No. Fuck her. She would have been being mean to that boy, regardless of the other two boys getting killed. No, hell nah. Trying to turn her into a fucking waitress. Like, oh no, she's just a hard-working single mama. How'd you get single? Because Jack was what, 15? That's a lot of years. Where's the fathers? You got 3 of them back to back and no husband, and you're working for a gangster? Square that with being a good person. Arson Oz's criminal intentions were definitely black, but his love for the obligation for his mom is a shade of gray. Not really. That is, in some ways, that son husband and the Oedipus complex mixed together. But Oz is selfish. He wants what he wants. And understanding that situation, I believe Oz wasn't even the youngest. Oz was the middle child, with that middle child complex, getting overlooked and not getting enough attention. It was always Jackie, Jackie, Jackie. Well, fuck Jack. I don't need Jack. And I'll take care of you because daddy wasn't here. That's why he got so triggered about that shit. Well, why was he getting triggered about his father that we knew nothing about? Probably because of some shit his mama told his ass about who daddy was. So he taking on that burden of, no, I need to take care of moms. Okay. Cross purposely threw a monkey wrench in the fanboy's journey by destroying the book. Like, are you talking about fucking spoilers, dude? That's why I don't like doing too much talking about the show that's on that I want people to watch. Beekeeper. Yep. Beware the Russian rump shaker. Yeah, they got some hip move. They got hip movements down, man. They got hip movements down. I'd be afraid to fuck one of them chicks. She'd probably put that shit on me. Man, your ass squirting like a water sprinkler. Like, oh fuck, I couldn't hold it. I'm about to have some black and Russian babies. Man, I'm sorry. I never knew Nick Cage, Joe Cage, whatever. And he black. What? Salute, man. I'm sorry. I never knew Nick Cage, Joe Cage, whatever. And he black man. Why y'all didn't tell me there was somebody better than Superman? That was our color. You don't know who Blue Marvel is? I mean, if you're not a comic book head, you're not a comic book head. That's not that big of a deal. Blue Marvel is smarter and stronger and more powerful than Superman. And Marvel owning that character after Kevin Kruvos created the character, a black man who was smart, buff, strong, powerful, and super intelligent, made that character for them. They always try to depower that character and just reduce him to somebody who punches people in the face because they don't like him up there. And in the DC universe, Icon is more powerful than Superman. And they own that character. stronger, more abilities, smarter. It's there if you want to see it. But that's stuff that's not, that's the difference between mainstream attention spans and people who get into this shit. You have to actually go below the surface to find out some of this stuff because they will not put it up there for you willingly. They won't. That's how knowledge works. Some of it is given for free, but a lot of the real stuff you got to put your effort in to go look for it and find out. Luke Cage is a more fun character. Yep, accountability is like kryptonite. What are those, gang signs? Last 2 episodes are really concerned about it becoming the Sophia Falcone show, as she was Far East, no R and phased. I'm glad it didn't happen. As you phrased, I'm glad it didn't happen. Yeah, it was going there because, look, like I said, I don't have a problem with women writers. I don't. If they can write a decent story without throwing all that feminist bullshit into it. But it will come in there. And that's what it was. This writer, you got to see her. If you watched the behind the episode stuff of Penguin every episode, she got to sit there and tell you what she was thinking when she wrote the shit. And you look at her. She seems like a feminine woman, right? Sitting up there in her dress and her blouse and shit like that and crossing her legs like she know how to sit like a fucking female and not trying to be a goddamn dude spreading her legs and shit like that. So she's a feminine woman, but she still has that sensibility that she doesn't want to see a woman be totally wrong. That's what I get from her. She may not want to see a woman be totally wrong. She does want to see her be empowered and grow from somewhere and have a badass persona. Okay, fine. But she doesn't want to let her take the consequences of that shit fully. Not the way, say, Sal got consequences, not the way Carmine got consequences, not the way Oz got consequences in some sense, not the way Vic got consequences. She don't want to give them that. She'll find a soft out for them where she still seems bad, but it's not as bad as losing their life like everybody else had to. Killing Johnny was unnecessary. No, killing Johnny was necessary. You know why? For one reason, he threatened to kill her anyway. Remember? You go to Italy, or we tell people you went to Italy. He threatened to kill her. No matter what shit he was talking when he was butt naked in the mausoleum, tied up, freezing his dick off. He threatened to kill her. To her face. So he was due to catch a bullet. Like I said, Johnny caught consequences. He didn't get to just be the little lowly underboss that she talked shit to. No, he got his brains blown out in front of everybody. Embarrassment. The other reason why it was necessary to solidify she was in charge of the family and she would kill. That's the only thing that backed the rest of the motherfuckers up, to let them know she was serious. She used Johnny to bring them all together because she didn't have any connections with them like that. And then she killed Johnny in front of them to let them know she's the motherfucker in charge now. And all that I was never a killer bullshit went out the window, didn't it? I was innocent. Were you? Or you didn't have your chance to shine yet? So killing Johnny was definitely necessary. Just like killing Squid was necessary. Squid was going to get killed sooner or later. He was going to need to be killed sooner or later. Because he was a problem. He was problematic. He was going to have to be that hurdle that Vic had to get over because he don't mean shit to us. He means something to Vic. That's a hurdle Vic has to get over. The bully from his neighborhood that he was kind of scared of. Well, he was going to have to deal with that shit. Which means Squid was going to have to die. Sooner or later, he was going to have to die. And Vic was going to have to be the one to do it. Yeah, she blew up all those people as well. Yeah, that was towards the end. Yeah. Sophia got her own body count in this show. She does. As innocent as she might have been when she went into Arkham, after that point, she started racking up bodies, nigga. She was in the family business. Knocking fuckers off, taking out. She was in the family business. So she shouldn't have been not catching a bullet. No. You just get a soft landing back in Arkham. No, fuck all that. This bitch ain't crazy. She wasn't. She was never crazy. She was sane as shit, just angry. Going around having a goddamn tantrum. It was entertaining as fuck. It was written really well. You empathize for the character for who she was beforehand. Yeah. That wasn't what came out on Arkham. What came out of Arkham was an angry woman who would kill. Family, friends, it don't fucking matter. Yeah, the mob usually checks those kind of actions severely. Yeah. Because then what's to stop the next mad dog killer from going through and killing the rest of the family, nigga? You take out the whole family. No. AL said, yeah, I could take you here. He was better than Superman and Hulk. Everything. I need some punctuation, man. This is not making any goddamn sense. Superman, the Hulk, everything. When I see what he did to the home, I was like, oh man, I gotta go watch this dude, find this dude, everything cold-blooded. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, yo. Explain it to me, bro. Short burst. Punctuation. Context. Well, I didn't like the Selena letter at the end as if they were setting up season 2 for another female enemy. No, I liked the Selena letter because I said that shit from the time that, you figured out that Carmine was the hangman. I pointed it out in my video, my review of the episodes. Like, that's what Selena was going after Carmine for. That's how I understood that Sophia wasn't the hangman, that it was Carmine, because that's what Carmine did. He choked them chicks. And if you watch the Batman, that's what Selena was going after him for killing her mother. Choking her the fuck out. And what did he do when she finally revealed it? Yeah, I'm so-and-so's daughter. Hey, Dad. He tried to choke her the fuck out, too. This is after he has sent his blood daughter, Sophia, to Arkham. For kind of understanding and learning some of this shit. He didn't stop. He didn't stop doing it. It was after. So I knew, excuse me, that the two of them would have to meet at some point because they're sisters. Fine. They're not meeting in the show. Fine. But I can say this definitively. I don't want a Penguin season 2. I don't. I know they'll get pressured to make one. But let's understand the same way that Todd Phillips got pressured to give us a Joker too. Maybe you shouldn't listen, Matt. Don't give him a Penguin season 2. Don't. Colin, I don't give a fuck how much money they throw at you. Don't. You have just done the impossible. You have made a gritty, realistic, successful comic book character centered show. You're not doing that twice. You're not. Don't do a season 2. Stay the fuck away from a season 2. I don't care what they offer you. I don't care what they threaten your ass with. Don't do a season 2. Don't ever give them a season 2. If they want a season 2, let them go hire some other goddamn directors to do a season 2. And watch how that shit go down. Because trust and believe, these motherfucking critics didn't want to watch your show to begin with. They didn't want to watch your show to begin with. And then your show was actually good. It took them 3 episodes, but then they finally got on board like, oh yeah, the Penguin is good. Oh. Best believe you announced that you're making a season 2 of the Penguin. These motherfuckers gonna be out in force waiting to shit on all over that show. All over it. Bet money. Because they're going to make money on doing it. Don't do another season. Don't. You've done the impossible. You've made a masterpiece. Put the brush down, walk the fuck away from that painting, and start doing something else. Don't give me a season 2 of the Penguin. I don't want a season 2 of the Penguin. I don't want to see it. Not interested at all. Because the only place you can go from here is down. And this culture right now likes tearing shit down. They don't like it being good. They're writing this show off before they ever seen anything of it. Because they were trying to tear down what the Batman had already done. Proved them wrong. It actually kind of worked with Robert Pattinson. Oh my God. This Penguin, who wants to see a spinoff of that shit? Oh, it's so good. The fuck you think they're going to do with a season 2? They're going to tear that shit down, nigga. I don't give a fuck what you put in it. They're going to be waiting to shit on that motherfucker like a seagull with a full belly. No, don't give them one. Fuck them. Let them have been wrong about this and live with it. What's good, Artie Imo, my brioche brother? I wish I had some brioche today too. I wish I did, man, because I wanted some good brioche French toast. Shout out to the Doughboy. Always happy to see my man, my art beat brother. Yeah, so don't do I don't want a season 2. I don't want to see. I'm serious. I don't want a season 2 of the Penguin. I want to be able to go back and watch season 1 again 5 years from now and really know how good of a show this fucking was and let that stand, that it's just a good show for all time. It never had a slump. It never went down the crapper. No, it's just fucking good. Period. The end. That's it. One shot, one kill. Bam. Done and out. They did that damn thing. That's a good fucking show for all time for that reason. It doesn't have to do like I was just talking about with The Wire, where it was really good the first 2 seasons, the third season it starts seeming like shit. Now I got to hang on to it to wait to see it get better again. No. It's streaming. Let that shit lie. Move on to something else. Sorry, Sophia Gigante. Yeah. It's better that her name wasn't Penelope Gigante. Yeah, she used her son for her own personal gain. That'll make her a good person at all. So she should not get saved. And yes, it does sound familiar, don't it, Malika? You see what I see, homie? Well, you my cinephile brother. Terrible parenting. The kids weren't working for the mob and giving her money. No, she wasn't even having a regular job, motherfucker. Give me this poor working mother bullshit. She working for the mob, nigga. She didn't have a regular gig. That's all she did. Her and Rex probably used to fuck. Because why else would he care? Oz and his brothers were conquistadors for Francis, just like some of us black men. Exactly, Malika. That's why, look, what was happening to Francis, the medical condition was fucked up. It is. It is. But Francis was not a good woman. You think Francis, put it this way, if you want to accept that Francis, how she treated Oz was because Oz killed her kids. Okay. All right. Fine. It's because of how her interactions with Oz was because she knew Oz killed her two oldest kids. Okay, fine. How do you explain how Francis acted with Sophia or Vic or the neighbor when she was delusional walking out there in the street? Francis was a piece of work. Always. That shit she was talking to Sophia, it wasn't Oz. That was her. That's her personality. Be dancing on your grave like Ginger fucking Rogers. That was a bitch, dude. Francis was not a good person. Oz didn't make her like that. That's who the fuck she was. If you got a gangster in your hood and his girl, his side piece, whatever, is some chick that he trusts and work with him, what do you call her? You think she's just some sympathetic character running around out there? Or do you think she in for the same bullshit? What do you call the dope man's sister that is shit, that was 15 minutes ago. Sorry. What do you call the dope man's sister that's involved in the shit with him? Is she an innocent bystander? Or is she part of the gang? Come on, man. Stop it. That bitch was not nice. His mom kept saying that BS, you're just like your father. Yeah, gaslighting him. How the fuck he even know who his father was like? Was he there? Ever? And I didn't like that line that Rick said, oh, he doesn't need a father. He has you. Man, fuck you. That ain't his daddy. That's his mama. Why would Rex tell us some shit like that unless she had more masculine energy than feminine energy? He recognizing another woman as the father? Man, shut the fuck up. That means Rex was his daddy. Anyway, give me 1 second. I need to go to the door and grab something. I'm going to run this and hopefully I can get to the door and back in that time. 1 second. Had a special delivery, birthday delivery angel came through here. Shout out to the Silly Soul. And apparently I had people sitting in the car outside laughing their ass off because I'm doing my show. And the stuff that I'm saying is funny. Oh, she did put a card in here. That's nice. The Prophet. I got some more good reading. And of course, Frida. This is who I know of Frida. It's because of this person I know so much about Frida Kahlo. Silly Soul. She might be in the chat. I don't know if she's in the chat. She's probably hiding today. Latino Ninja Watcher. I don't know how you say ninja in Spanish other than El Ninja. Some dumb shit like that. Oh, this is tasty looking. Peanutty. So, we got a special peanut butter whiskey. I have not had that before. I missed her yesterday because I was talking to my mother and I was supposed to meet her so we can swap some whiskey. Oh, there she go. Yeah, see, she's still here. Shout out to Sally. Lucky you didn't get kissed on, motherfucker. You're lucky. You're lucky. You might have had the smell of another man on you. Mm. Let me smell this shit. Okay, now I'm gonna come drop by. Mr. Whiskey thought, what up, Trust? Look, now Trustin came out the bushes. Yeah, Trust, I was on the East Coast for 2 weeks. She didn't drive nowhere. I must be idiot. I sniffed the microphone before. I'm trying to sniff the whiskey. This does smell good. Can't hear shit. Oh, you at the bar watching the Steelers game. No, you can't hear shit. I fucking rally rags. Enjoy it delicious with Black Cafe. Sending hello to everyone. Oh, okay. Here you go. Hey, man, women hiding in the closet. Maybe they don't feel safe around all you motherfuckers. No, you motherfuckers. Some people be acting different as soon as women show up. Get to talking over each other, acting all disrespectful and shit. Trying to pull out their penis like they showed up to see that shit. I have a glass. Let me go grab a glass real quick so I can try this. Because I'm not gonna pour it in my coffee mug. I mean, I'm partly Irish, but not that kind of Irish, and this coffee is cold. Yeah, and it'll fuck up the flavor because I gotta taste this. So, fuck. I hate doing so many breaks because now I gotta edit that shit out. I only need like 30 seconds. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm fucking up because I didn't have my ice cubes ready in my ice tray. Asshole. So I got the whiskey stones. I got the peanut butter whiskey. Let's breathe for about a minute. I'm going to drink this because this is a birthday present. So I will drink this in honor of my 51st year. To everybody who thinks I am a 31-year-old guy, which is what they thought when I was in Savannah. They thought I was 31 years old. I am not. I am 51 years old. My son is 31 years old this month. And Herb is, 40-something years old this month. So, shout out to Sally. Appreciate you. I really do. I do appreciate that. It was good seeing you. You're lucky you didn't have more time. I would hope that people that I used to date got uglier as time went on, but sometimes they don't. So it don't make you any less attractive. But I will say who Sally is an artist. So she painted this for me. This is one of, I believe, the third painting that I have of hers that she painted for me, which are all cool. The eye looking at me, though, I might think she's staring at my ass the whole fucking time. But it always has some blue in it. This one has more black in it than blue, but the eye is blue with the yin yang and shit. I like that. I like that. She didn't write a message on the back, though, so it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, motherfucker. I see a card in there. I see a message in the book and stuff like that. And she gave me some alcohol. It's fine. So I will have this drink and get back to our regularly scheduled program. To the soul, the people that show me respect in my life, that love me, I got love for them. I appreciate you all. Seriously, I don't say that to be making jokes. I mean that shit. I'm a Scorpio. It's not false. It's not a falsity. I respect the relationships and like that you are part of my life. And to surviving and making it around being above the dirt for 51 years, I've learned a lot. I have seen a lot. And I only hope to learn and see more. So thank you for being there and sharing that time. No time spent has been wasted. So salute to me. Interesting. It's smooth. It tastes almost like honey jack. It has that consistency of honey jack. Not that it tastes like honey, but honey jack tastes kind of thick. All right? It tastes kind of thick. It's not really watery. She say namaste. Namaste to you too. Yeah, it's a good flavor, Andre. It's a really good flavor. Yeah, it's really. It must be the nut. Can't believe I said that. That's an opening for a joke. It must be the peanut in the alcohol that gives it that thick taste. The way to describe it is that when you roll it around your tongue, you could feel it. Right? Some whiskey, you'll drink it and it'll taste really flat. I don't know if you'll have sensitivity in the texture of your tongue and shit like that. I don't know. Eat pussy or something. Figure it out. But some whiskey tastes like you're drinking water. It'll taste really flat, right? On your tongue. You can feel it. It tastes flat. This tastes kind of thick. And I relate it to honey jack because that's what I liked about honey jack. Honey jack tastes like you're drinking almost like you're drinking honey. Almost, right? What am I like to say? Why am I stream deck coming up? Whatever, fuck. So it has a good flavor. It has a good smell too. It doesn't smell like alcohol overly. It does smell like peanut butter, but it has a good smell. It goes down pretty easy. It doesn't burn on the way down. No burn at all. That's what makes this shit dangerous. That means you can get fucked up. If it don't burn on the way down, you might not know when to stop. Damn, 70 proof. That's it. 35% alcohol. God damn. Out in Kentucky. I like this bottle too. It's like booty or breast. I was enjoying my. Thank you, Sally. I appreciate that. That actually tastes really good. So I might not need to chase this with any Sinatra. I have my bottle of Sinatra. She didn't even get to taste the Sinatra. Here we go. She didn't get to taste the Sinatra. I don't know, next time. But I hadn't drank Sinatra today because I was waiting, because I knew she was bringing this. So I was waiting to taste that. Funny. Thanks for the message. All right. So getting back to the shit. Oh, I know I put that in my coffee. Happy Saturday. Happy Sinatra next time. Yeah, the Sinatra will be here. Told you I have to buy a bottle of that every year. A bottle every year. And I have a bottle, and I need to buy a bottle for this year. I haven't drank any of it because I've been not feeling well, and I just got back home, and I didn't take Sinatra on the plane. It was here waiting on me. So I got peanutty whiskey, Shepherd's peanutty whiskey. Good choice. It smells really good. It smells really good. I'm going to keep sipping on that. So thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate birthday presents. You don't have to give me shit, but you chose to. I appreciate that. And that's the same way I go with other people. I would take you. Pause. Hey man, I can't help it that some of this, I have this kind of mind that it makes it tough to have little jokes like that and not have it open up. I told you, it's a finally developed skill I developed in Catholic school to turn everything into a dirty joke. It was a challenge. I met the challenge. That shit is kind of good, boy. That shit kind of good. Young bucker, gotta drink some of that peanut whiskey. Get some of that peanutty whiskey. Should be tasting all right. Yep, Catholic school does that to you. That's how I learned it. I'm not bullshitting. Look, I tell you guys a lot of stuff, but one thing I hope you understand when I tell you this shit, I don't be bullshitting. I don't believe in lying. I really don't. I know people do it. I just don't believe in doing it. No need. People don't believe you anyway. You might as well tell their ass the truth. They're going to think you're lying. Fine. Let them find out that you was never lying. Like, holy shit, he really said, yeah, nigga, I don't waste time. I don't like wasting time like that. Here we go. Here we go, Malika. Maybe you didn't hear all of that. Let's see. Pause. All right, so drive safe, Sally. She on her way back. On the road, y'all drive safe. Don't be doing nothing crazy because I think it's wet outside. I'm not sure. Next time. BMT said Division 3 is coming. Be ready. I'm getting ready. That's probably why Division 2 has died down so damn much. That's okay. I'll still be playing 2 when 3 comes out. I'm not one of them early adopters. I will late adopt and work out the rest of the damn bugs. See if they deliver a complete game, or they develop half a game and want to charge you for the rest so they can make the rest. Damn, that is a good sipping whiskey right there. That is a really good sipping whiskey, man. You could sit up and drink this shit all day. Damn. And because it got that thick taste, you put that in some coffee, you'll be drinking that shit forever. Like Honey Jack, for me, Honey Jack, I don't buy Honey Jack all the time because Honey Jack make me sleepy. It does. Because of that thick taste, and my body is trained to, like, I have honey and tea in most things. I try to use honey instead of using sugar. Hot liquid and honey in it is good for me to relax and fall asleep to. First time I had Honey Jack, I was falling asleep trying to drink a glass of that shit. Kept making me fall asleep. So this, you can sip that in the evenings, some coffee, and be good. Be good on a cold day. Shit, like today, it's like 30 degrees. Hell yeah. Yeah, deliver a complete game? Good luck with that. Yeah, they don't even do. As soon as they start streaming games, man, they never gave you a complete game ever. You have not gotten a complete game ever. That's why you got such long goddamn load times. It's never a complete game. Never complete. That shit irritating as hell. Yep, I still run the streets too, man. I'm trying to bring order to that motherfucker like Batman in Gotham. So where was I? Where I leave off? I wasn't rudely interrupted, but I knew that she was going to show up sooner or later. Rex Calabrese actually being Oswald's dad, and Francis not being a good person. Francis wasn't a good person. 2:30 in, so I am going to drop the link for any of y'all who want to come up and express your thoughts and opinions on some shit. Bam, there's the link. You can come up. I only ask you to take turns when you're talking. Don't talk over each other. Let's act like we some grown-ass men who actually talk to people in the real world and know how to have a dialogue and an exchange, and not a bunch of kids on a fucking school bus trying to yell over each other to be heard. We don't need to do that. We all got 2 ears, and if you have something to say, I will listen to it. I don't have to agree, but I will listen. The next thing I'll say, I don't know if we closed out the Penguin or not, but I know if Andre get up here, he's going to want to talk about both Penguin, or he's going to want to talk about the Penguin, because I don't think he's watched Cross yet, so we'll see. But I will throw in something on some contemporary note about this Tyson-Jake Paul fight, because I got back from Vegas. I mean, not Vegas. I got back from Savannah, like I told you guys. I went to my mother's house and spent the night there to pick up my car and whatnot. And then I see y'all in the back. Matt, you don't have a camera hooked up. And sure enough, I watched the Tyson fight with my mother, which is funny because we used to watch these fights together all the time. Like, most people don't know that I grew up on boxing. Just don't know that shit because I'm not one to broadcast everything about me. But grew up on boxing, love the science, love the fighting aspect of it. And my mother had her own ideas about what was wrong with the fight, what was good with the fight. And so we watched it. And then we watched that damn Tyson Jake Paul competition. It was boring. It looked like a really safe fight. And I told my mother, from the jump, I never really wanted to watch that fight because common sense will tell you that Mike Tyson, 58 or not, should be beating the fucking brakes off of Jake Paul, who has not been a trained fighter, and that's what he's dedicated himself to be fighting at that level with an ex-heavyweight champion of not one, but like 3 divisions. No, motherfucker, no. Now, for me, it was always a publicity stunt, a cash grab if you want to be mad about that shit. Like you don't live in America and don't work for a living. But I always saw it as, okay, Mr. Matt, you in here twice on 2 different devices, so pick one. All right, got you. It was always a publicity stunt to me because common sense tells you Tyson should beat the hell out of this dude, young or not. He should get the hell beat out of him. Plain and simple. Now, I've watched way too many of Mike Tyson's training videos to see the power he was exhibiting, the speed he was exhibiting, the movement he was exhibiting, to not see this fight that he had with Jake Paul and say something's wrong with him. Is he fucking high? Sleepy? Tired? What the fuck? That shit was off-putting. Off-putting. That was not. It was definitely Mike Tyson because I know I live in the real world. He was not going out there trying to kill that boy. He was not going out there trying to beat that boy's brains in. He wasn't. And I can understand why. It's a payout for Mike. It is. It's a payout for Mike Tyson. It's a payout for Jake Paul. And as I was explaining this shit to my mother, is that Jake Paul is more of a brand and a celebrity right now. That he will bring people to watch his ass. And if you're in the back, just hang back for a second. I'm going to let you guys up in a hot minute. Just hang back. That's what he's there for. But if any one of those people by themselves, do you think would have had as big of a showing for Netflix or anything like that? Would have been a draw for Netflix? No. Who would Mike Tyson be fighting if he was just going to have another heavyweight fight right now at 58? You think you're about to see him climb the mountain again of heavyweights right now? No, nigga. And I'm a Mike Tyson fan. Hell no. Not unless you want to see that old man die in the ring. That's not what would be happening. Who wants to see Jake Paul have an actual heavyweight fight with actual goddamn contenders for a belt? You're not going to see that shit either. You know why? Because you don't want to see that white boy get the hell beat out of him by somebody who really hungry and really going after a title. The fuck out of here for that shit. I'm sick to death in some ways that I live in this generation now where everybody is considered tough because they have a bunch of tattoos and a beard. Yeah, he boxing. Awesome. I watched some of his past fights. That shit looked weak as fuck. His technique looks sloppy as hell. Some round, hit you with the side of the glove, punches and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Oh my God, who is his trainer? His knockout blows are overhand right. You mean this shit? This Clubber Lang bullcrap? The windmill? That's what girls do when they fighting on the park and shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. What the hell is that? And make no mistake, I ain't got shit against Jake Paul. I think him and his brother did some stupid shit, and they've made a reputation and a brand for themselves off of doing stupid shit. It worked. Can't be mad at them for that shit. They understand how to brand and market. Can't be mad at that shit. Do I think he is a heavyweight boxer? Fuck no. But do I think can he have a successful boxing career being smart about it? Don't Mayweather got a career? Don't he beat his chest about being the best? And he always fought motherfuckers on their way down or after they've been hurt? That's modern boxing nowadays. Figuring out how to have a fight without getting fucked up. That boxing match that they had for 2-minute rounds was embarrassing. Tyson looked tired. And I hadn't seen him looking tired even in the training videos I was watching, which kept striking me in the face like something's wrong with him. He's scared or something. Something is not right. Something is not right. Did they tell him not to hurt that boy? That he bringing the money? And if you sit there and crash this motherfucker out, that it's going to fuck up somebody else's money? This shit, especially when Logan showed up, I was like, this dude, mama, this is me talking to my mama. I was like, mama, this dude looked like some WWE shit. That I could predict who was going to win this goddamn fight. Because you don't want to tarnish Tyson's legacy by having him get knocked the fuck out by this young upstart white boy who ain't got a serious boxing career. He ain't grinded his way up through the amateurs. He ain't grinded through the heavyweights to be in there, to be in the ring taking on a heavyweight champion. He ain't done all that shit. He ain't got no right to be in there in the ring with Mike like that. So no, he's not going to knock out Mike Tyson. Story-wise, that would not work. It could be shocking. It won't work. It would disrespect Mike Tyson's legacy of having fought actual fighters and having actual battles in the ring and overcoming and losing. To have him get knocked out by this motherfucker. Hell no. Hell no. And vice versa. It serves no purpose to have Jake Paul get his ass in there and get knocked the fuck out by this legend. His boxing career after that would be finished. This ain't Southpaw. This ain't a fucking movie. His boxing career will be finished after that. He got in there with an elder, aging champion and got knocked the fuck out. Nah, bro. No, that would not work. Not for his branding. Not for how he has his trajectory set and how he's deciding to make money right now. Hell no, that's not going to work. The easiest way to get out of that situation with both of them having some respect intact in a WWE fashion is he gets a decision and people don't agree with the decision. Nobody got knocked out, but Jake got the win. And if you don't like that Jake got the win, you can get your ass mad enough and demand for a rematch. And you can pay him more money to come back and do that shit again on Netflix. And then you might get a real fight. Unless you can stretch it out to 3. The tiebreaker. This is why people don't like modern boxing nowadays. Because it's more about the show and less about the sport. You can't tell me that everybody showing up for Mike Tyson and Jake Paul and the better fight was Serrano and what was that Irish chick's name's Taylor? That was a better fight. Because that Puerto Rican chick was in there throwing fucking hands. 2 chicks. Even with the dirty headbutts, they was in there getting at it, nigga. Punch sock right in the goddamn face. Full on in the mush. How embarrassing is that? You the heavyweights. You the title match. You the main ones on the card. But 2 chicks showed up and gave a better fight than you motherfuckers in there for your 8 rounds of 2 minutes. Embarrassing. That's all I can say about the shit. It was just embarrassing. Am I going to fault Mike for catching the check? No. What I will fault Mike Tyson on is 2 things. 2 things. Looking like you scared in there, which I know you're not. You're not scared to be in a boxing ring. I've seen you fight for years. Like, I was born when you was out there knocking motherfuckers out. I remember the Olympics, okay? So don't pull that shit with me. I don't give a fuck how old you are. A fighter is a fighter. That has been your main job for most of my goddamn life. And I've never seen you, except when you fucking lost, in there looking that ridiculous. I can't watch the fight and watch this video of you on Instagram from a couple days ago, and you in there just, like, who the fuck is this in the ring? Can't do it. Yeah, he was holding back Aquateki, so I kept biting his fucking glove to keep from knocking that motherfucker with that hand. Like, don't hit him with that one. Don't hit him with that one. Because he was wide open for shit. So that's the one thing I can't forgive Mike for. The other thing is that glove biting shit. That looked fucking ridiculous. No, let me take it back. I already mentioned the glove biting shit. Let these motherfuckers show your ass on Netflix. The fuck was that about? What? Is this what we doing? I don't have a problem with a man kissing his son. Not on the mouth. That would be problematic. But I don't have a problem with a man kissing his son. But you was there looking scared, which I've never seen on Mike Tyson's face. Because that's what it came across to me. Like, that motherfucker looks scared. Like, you don't want to be there. And then you walking away and they decide they need an ass shot for that moment to know that his ass is all hanging out. Like, why do I need to see Mike Tyson's ass? The fuck was that about? Who was that for? I understand, having been around boxing and watched boxing forever, that little cod piece that they wear around their hip to keep their fucking nuts from getting destroyed with low blows don't have no back to it. I understand that. I don't need to see it. I understand it. The protection is for the front, not for your ass. Why the fuck did I need to see that? That made no sense to me whatsoever that they even showed it. Like, I've watched boxing for years. I've never seen no shit like that. Never. And I'm still scratching my head talking to y'all about, like, why the fuck? Now I got the visual of what Mike Tyson's ashy ass looks like. I didn't need that shit. My fucking God. Maybe the peanut alcohol's working. You can come back, BMT. So I'm just saying, like Aquateki is saying here, I think he was holding back. I think the money was on him and it was told to him not to knock this boy out. Because that's bringing the money. It is. That fight If you want to call it a fight, it was not a fight. It was an exhibition. It was a demo. That's what the fuck it was. It wasn't a fight, though. The girls, the females, the women, I should say, let me give them their respect. The women had a fight. You know, blood, busted eyelids and shit. Actual video footage of people getting punched in their face. You know, they had a boxing match. Y'all had an exhibition, which ranks up there almost as boring to me as watching Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn have an MMA match, which is just a bunch of walking around in circles for fucking 20 minutes, pairing each other out. Get the fuck out of here. Get in there and fucking fight. You can't, I don't understand how you can call yourself a boxer and be in the ring afraid to take a punch or afraid to get hit. How the hell are you a boxer? What do you do in practice? Whatever, man. Like I said, I wasn't that interested in the shit anyway, because for my money, for my mind, I hear Iron Mike, I hear Jake Paul. I said, that little boy about to get his ass knocked the fuck out. If that's not the result that happened, it's some bullshit. But they're going to get paid off of it. And I'm not mad about them getting paid off of the shit. I'm just mad that the shit wasn't entertaining to watch. And I need to see a part 3 with Serrano and Taylor go at it again, less headbutts. So I can watch. I'm serious. And I don't say this to hate on my Irish kin, but I want to see that Puerto Rican shit beat the hell out of your Irish sister. See that little Liza get her ass whooped. Because she deserved that. And she ain't got no smoke for that Latina. That Puerto Rican shit got hands, man. She is a warrior in there. And if you hadn't cut her goddamn eye, busted her eye open with your big ass forehead and them warrior braids you got twisted up on the side of your head that you was rubbing into that cut to try to open it up, she'd have lit your ass up the same way she lit you up in the first round. Your ass was going down that day. Y'all robbed that woman. That woman got robbed in the ring. Especially for that bullshit ass count. I don't know who doing the goddamn counting, but you 3 motherfucking judges was trash. Trash. How did all 3 of you had the same exact score? And then you got this white girl winning when this bitch was lighting her up the whole 8 rounds. Even from the first one. You mean she didn't even win the first round? Where she gave her one of them Mike Tyson punches? Flat-faced it? Oh my God. I was on some bullshit. Aquaday sounds like the fix was in. Look, I don't say the fix was in. My mother was trying to blame it on some conservative shit, and I didn't want to hear that. But look, you in Texas. There ain't no way you about to have no Latino coming to Texas and walk out beating up on somebody white adjacent. It's not happening, man. Ain't that the place where the Alamo is? Yeah, they ain't doing that shit. Okay. They not doing it. It's not happening. So fight somewhere else. Go to Vegas and beat that bitch ass. Because I know Serrano can whoop her ass. I know she can. She got her number like it's in a old phone book, nigga. Like she ain't called it 15 times a day. She got her number. All of them, all 7 digits, man. Tell that bitch meet you in Vegas. Y'all go to the MGM or something like that. I don't give a fuck. And do it one more again. Beat the fuck out of her. And just watch that head. Watch that fucking head. She ain't got nothing for you. Nothing but a headbutt. She ain't got shit for you. Whoop that bitch ass. And I'll show up to see it. I'll pay to see that. Not because I have any hate for Taylor. I don't. I have no hate for Katie Taylor. It's a tactic. It's a tactic. You just got to counteract the tactic. Don't let her try to split your ass open. She come in leading with that head, giving them uppercuts. But she ain't gonna lead with her head and then slide it up your chest and be trying to hit you all up in the side of the eye. Nah, fuck all that. Fuck all that. If you saw her doing that with somebody else and she's done it to you, then you need to be ready for that motherfucker with a counter. As soon as that motherfucker be diving in low with the head, you need to be. I know you got the speed. Give it to her. Light her ass up. She a boxer. She can take it. Shit. That's what I want to see. But that Tyson Jake Paul shit, embarrassing. But it was a good exhibition. It was an exhibition. It was not a fight. And my last point on that, just so you can know, it was not a fight. Everybody left because they got tired of waiting. Look, told y'all I don't do short form content. So if you can't hold on while I get my piece off on another subject, I don't know what the fuck you was waiting for. Fight was over. They got the mic in Jake Paul's face, and they're talking about who's next for him. And he's saying out of his mouth, the person that came next, he's gonna have to think about him if you want to see this money, because that's all it's about. Because he brings the money, he brings the attention. Because somebody does want to see him get his ass whooped. Somebody does. People pay for that shit. People pay to see people they don't necessarily like get their ass whooped, and he's comfortable with that. Fine, it makes him more money. Hate cost. And if you want to see him get knocked out, you're going to have to pay to watch it. And then he won't get knocked out. So you'll pay to see the next motherfucker try it. But the day you see him get him knocked out, you won't watch another fight. And that's how you know it's a story element. It's not about the sport. It's all about the story. That's why you can predict this shit without winning, without watching it. He won, but ain't knocked nobody out. Decision. Psst. Yeah, that chick fight had a decision too. And the whole crowd was booing. Except the people, flying the Irish flag. They wasn't booing at all. But if you look at that fight, even Katie Taylor knew that was bullshit. She was in there emotional. And you might be confused and thinking she was in there emotional because she won. No. She was in there emotional when she was talking because she knew she shouldn't have won that shit. And the fans, the audience is not behind her winning because they knew she wasn't winning that shit. She shouldn't have. That was a foul decision. It was. But it is what the fuck it is, right? This is professional boxing. Where the outcomes are predicted. So, link is in the chat if you want to come up and talk about this or other subjects. If not, I'm at just about 3 hours and 40 seconds. And if not, I can close it out right there. Professional boxing is rigged, man. It is. Professional boxing is rigged. And that's why I say it's in the WWE sense. It's rigged, not in that they have to be in there telling you when to punch, when not to punch. It's rigged in the sense they know what the most desired outcome is supposed to be. All right, let's try this. It's the first time you've been up here, so I'm hoping you're not on no bullshit. Reverse. So, Matt. Okay. No response. Are you ready? My connection sucks. My bad. No worries. Turn your camera on while you're behind the scenes so I can see that it's actually a person and not somebody waiting to throw a penis up. He disappeared. Okay. Well, I can't get out of here. Yeah, and Andre ain't in here right now either. I wonder where Andre disappeared to. Anyway, that's 3 hours on my shit. I think I'll go ahead and get out of here and get me some food. I had my bowl of parfait this morning, but I need sustenance because I'm a big dude and I'm drinking fucking peanut butter whiskey that tastes delicious. By the way, shout out to the soul on the road. Shit does taste good. I guess my like is still at work. So I'm going to end it right there. That's 3 hours. That's good. It gives me a little bit to edit. Appreciate you guys for sitting through my little momentary break. But what do we got? The penguin. I went over to the penguin and the Sophia. Is he a monster? I don't know what was monstrous about him. He was a villain. He came in a villain. He went out a villain. I don't think that necessarily has to make him a monster, but okay. Cross season 1. Definitely watch Cross. Do not sleep on Cross. If you support black like you folks say you do, you should be watching a show that a black man is starring in and executive producing. You should. You saw him in Black Adam. You've seen him in some other stuff. He's a decent enough actor. If the MCU could hire him, he would be in Black Panther 3 playing T'Challa. You might as well watch him in Alex Cross, a black literary character. It's long episodes. It will seem like a long show. And that's fine. For me, that's fine. I watch Reacher on Prime. I watch this on Prime. And some other show I watch on Prime too. They've been doing Terminal List is good too. Amazon has been doing really well with adapting books, at least male figured books, into live action. They female shit. Agenda be damned, all over the place. But I don't know why some of these other books escape. I don't know. But Reacher's good. Cross is good. Terminal List is good. Cross is in that group. Right? Or Jack Ryan is good too. So check out Cross. If I need to, I will put up a review of Cross first season and see what you guys thought of it. I know I owe you guys some videos. I got a bunch of them backed up. I got one that's missing too. I can't find anywhere. My episode 7 for the Penguin review, I can't find it. I don't know where it is. I know I recorded it, but I can't find it. So I need to get to work and getting some of these videos out for you guys as well and for the channel. If you're on my Patreon, you already see it. It's already up. It's just you YouTube motherfuckers that don't get the free show. The free show keeps coming late for you. But the Patreon members who pay for that shit, like, other content creators and shit, it's already up. So you pick off of it and do what you will. But for me, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream now. I've been artisanmc. This has been The Hero's Journey. I do this every Sunday from 11 a.m. until I feel like stopping, where I will talk about geekdom, life, and everything in between. So thank you for showing up. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now. I will see you guys next time. How's this going to work? Peace. See, it didn't work that way.